and to get confirmation. I promise. Just don't throw it. Right.
In theory, we should be good at this point.
Is it on?
It is on.
It's on. Cassandra Butler, you may proceed, please.
I am Cassandra Butler. You asked me to say my.
Yeah, speaking to the mic so people can hear you.
Dr. Butler, 12 Caldwell Court, Ward 2. I'm quickly just going to mention that passing the special district or special exception for the car lot, what I think was a real mistake, but as far as conflict of interest, but I will address that at another time because that takes more time. So today, what I want to address is the concept of unity, because I've heard that word spoken a lot by the council, particularly during the campaigning season. And I hear that the council really is working toward, or their campaign slogans seems to be, vote for these candidates because we want unity on the council. To me, what I hear when I hear you say unity, I hear you saying, we want conformity. We want you to recognize conformity in the way that you want your superiority and your inherent natural abilities to lead to be recognized. And you want others to conform to that leadership and call it unity. And I would say, it sounds like to me, you're saying if you don't conform, if you don't defer, acquiesce, accede to our position, if you won't subjugate your own thinking to be on the same mind, be on the same opinion as ours, then you are the cause of discord. You are creating disunity. You are creating chaos. Well, I am here to tell you, no, I don't want that kind of unity on the council. This is very much an overrated value in this circumstance. Ferguson City is in the middle of creating a fair and just system for all of its residents, not just the legacy residents. This takes the diversity on the council. Yes, diversity on many different levels. So I'm not talking about diversity necessarily of race, but diversity of ideals. The value of having diversity on the council is that the diversity of viewpoints must be heard and appreciated. Recruiting diversity with the expectation of creating unity with a fresh set of recruited residents because of their lack of participation on policy issues of the council is, well, a false unity. A more powerful configuration for the Ferguson Council for this day and time would be a council that is strong in its collaborative skills. One, each member can freely share their thoughts, which hopefully somewhat reflects the thinking of their constituents. This requires good listening skills, openness, and willingness to consider each other's thinking and preferences. That's not what I'm observing now. And because I'm short of time, I'm looking at the competitive. What you're really doing is disunity. In summary, the council let me see, unity in the city council that is in the midst of creating a better framework. In a framework that has been broken is overrated. I prefer a flourishing of diverse ideals with council persons willing to listen to each other and consider their options. Not, I win, you lose.
Thank you.
Structure.
Thank you, Ms. Butler.
Next person on our list is LaRae Jackson.
Hello, I'm LaRae Jackson, 10711 Sibley Court, Ward 1. I have just a quick question. If someone could please guide me in the correct direction. I've been talking to, let's see, I called MoDOT concerning Pershall Road and the speed coming off of 270 and West Florissant. And about putting up a speed bump or something because it's pretty fast, and especially at night, it's dark and it's fast. If I'm in a small car, if I get hit, I'm done because I have to come off of 270 and then get all the way to the right lane to turn right on Trask. So I called MoDOT. MoDOT told me that it was not their responsibility and that I needed to call the County Department of Transportation. I called the County Department of Transportation. They then transferred me to, I got it on my piece of paper over there, the City Department of something, I'll tell you in a second. So if you can please direct me who to call, I will call them. I'm just getting a runaround. Thank you. They sent me to a traffic studies division.
That doesn't do any good.
And
Okay.
so if you can tell me who to call, I will call, and I will share that information with the other residents of Ferguson Woods as well.
Channel 5. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson.
Next on our list is Jill Holtrup.
I'm Jill Holtrup. I live at 100 South Clay. Am I speaking loudly enough?
Mhm.
Okay. Since the subject of, 100 South Clay. Since the subject of spot shotter is still being discussed, I have a couple of thoughts that I would like to raise. And based on the latest information which I was able to find, which to me is still as vague as it was in 2020 when I first started researching this technology, this is my concern. For as long as this technology has been around, there seems to be a glaring lack of endorsements from many other municipalities endorsing ShotSpotter technology. And why is this? Well, I don't know. What I see most referenced is not the assistance in lowering gun violence, but the ability to have law enforcement officers arrive faster than the EMTs to help a wounded person. Is this the primary result the city of Ferguson is looking for with this technology? I don't know. Now, if the primary goal is to arrive at the scene of the crime sooner, then I personally would rather see Ferguson spend that money to increase law enforcement officers' salaries in order to attract more people being willing to locate to Ferguson. I happen to own an engineering consulting firm, and because of this, I am keenly aware, as I'm sure you are aware also, that data is critical in understanding if the promises a company makes match up with the promises about the effectiveness of what they have to offer. While I'm sure we would all like to think that a technology exists that would reduce gun violence, ShotSpotter seems to be unable to offer any quantifiable evidence, verifiable or otherwise, that actually does reduce gun violence. The only people extolling the virtues of this technology are the ones who have a vested interest in getting it installed somewhere. I also believe they count on the probability that once installed, and because decision makers come and go, it will never be dismantled. It will just become a part of the annual budget for many, many years. There's also the question of how financially solvent the company will be in years. If this is a proven technology, why doesn't it publish more data to show that? Is it because they cannot show it as an effective tool? If it is, I would think a majority of the cities already using it would be strongly endorsing it. It is my guess that some cities are mysteriously silent on the issue because they don't want to admit wasting substantial amounts of public funds. The long-term expense is enormous with what appears to be little payback. We already know where the chronically problematic areas are. And as a citizen, I would much rather see us be able to increase the salaries, I already spoke to that, of law enforcement and more law enforcement officers and social workers in the department. And I also had nothing else to say.
You
great.
timed it just right. Thank you, Jill. Thank you.
Last person on our list is Erica M. Brooks.
Ms. Brooks? Yes.
Hello, City of Ferguson. I am Erica M. Brooks, the Clyde Colvin, the Rosa Parks, the family name of Ferguson, Missouri. I am changed, you can't see. Ferguson, Missouri is a place that walks a fine line of racial resistance, which utilizes diversity, equity, and inclusion as a symbol of pacifism, while actively implementing legislation that maintains the prejudice principles its forefathers lived by. The 2014 racially biased catastrophe only peeled back the true or prejudiced pulse of Ferguson, Missouri. For all the people who have been had their forefathers who established this governance of Ferguson over the years, they have been well aware of the racist Declaration of Independence that it has been built on. However, us residents who came to Ferguson over the years have yet to learn about the abnormal segregation practices that define the normals of prideful Fergunites. Let's look at the undercurrent of injustice that still lurks in the administration of the city of Ferguson in the following topics. Our Ferguson 2040 comprehensive plan, housing and neighborhoods. 42 of the 140 houses on the public list are owned by the city of Ferguson. 22 of the 48 houses on the demolition list are owned by the city of Ferguson. The majority of the houses owned by the Ferguson and on the demolition list in 17th precinct accompanied by plots of the city or according to the plan worth $27,000. However, the conditions of the area reduced the value of the area to a blighted, unsafe, poorly lit, crime-ridden area subject to crime, rodents, fires, trap houses, and liability on the city's police and fire department, as well as public works and code enforcement. How many people have been evicted during the COVID-19 and or banks did not approve their potential home buyers for loans? How many price gouging private equity firms as well as independent buyers who did not live in Ferguson and or live in Ferguson and don't maintain their properties, bought a lot of property, raised their rents to an unaffordable rate, and one set of houses to African Americans? This all ends equal to redlining. Transportation and mobility. As a grassroots organizer, my son and I retained bus route 79 in 2019 on Suburban Today for our citizens of Ferguson, Missouri, qualifying the city for the ability to retain a surface transportation program grant of $571,623 in 2023. The benefits was an infrastructure repair to stop the flooding, resurfacing of the streets from Airport Road to Suburban Avenue, installation of 8 bus stop landing pads, 4 speed bumps, well, I'm gonna go to this point right here. I also have a list of, it's a petition that I did for citizens for some streets to be considered for the extra funding that you all said that y'all had. And I emailed to the city clerk. So I wanted that to be known too, that they were talking about erosion that was happening because of the infrastructure that's not there. And also this pothole. So hopefully you all can consider the streets for infrastructure repair as well as potholes.
Thank you, Ms. Brooks. Thank you. Do we have anyone on Zoom?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Thus, in our public comment section, we move to the manager's report. City Manager Hampton, do you have a report?
Mayor, tonight I do not have a report.
Okay. We move to the special presentation section. At this time, City Manager, would you like to introduce Dwayne James?
Dwayne James.
Yes, I did.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Good to see you.
My name is Dwayne T. James, and I'm here to talk about the 2024 Ferguson Twilight Run. Got it? Good. There we go. I got it. There we go. All right. So I'll just talk about the beginning of how we began, move over to the numbers and some feedback, talk about the 15th year, and then provide some time for some questions and answers. So the starting line, we began in 2010. It was an extension of Live Well Ferguson, which was a collaboration between the city and TrailNet. It was also started to showcase the newly constructed plaza at 501, and then 2013, and it is funded by a nonprofit called Events. We partner with the city every year. And so the run supports local organizations that provide area programs and events in North County that showcase the enjoyable, healthy, and sustainable aspects of fitness activities. That's the picture from the first year. It's just lovely to see some of those faces that have matured and grown now. So since the beginning, we've had over 19,000 registered participants. 119,850 has been distributed to local organizations. And then we have been a 5-time winner of the Big River Race Management's Best Neighborhood Support Award, and that's directly as a result of the neighborhood support of the city of Ferguson. And then we were also the 2018 Runner's Choice Award. And you can see the numbers, they have grown and valleyed, and just looks like the hills of Ferguson over the years. And so our peak was in 2014 with 2087, and of course COVID resulted in a little bit of a dip, and ever since then we have started moving back up, and our goal this year is actually 1,500. I'm just going to keep saying that, 1,500. Hoping that everyone in this room will help us get to 1,500. I like that music. That is a good music to make sure that we get that 1,500. That is perfect. So beneficiaries, you can see a lot of those are familiar with us, but again, 119 has been distributed to these organizations. Everything from Ferguson Family YMCA to Girls on the Run to FYI to Empower North County, Audubon Center, Fit and Food Connection. The only thing that we require is that they do provide healthy and active programs in North County. As the demographics, we are not just a Ferguson race, and we are not just catered to one age group. As you can see, we cater to all different ages. And then ever since 2020, the last 3 years, we've actually touched 26 different states and 5 different countries. And so understanding that our reach of the Ferguson Twilight Run is broad. And so my hope is for us to get to those 50 different states through a virtual run. And so if you have family and friends that you want to introduce to the Ferguson Twilight Run, it's like, oh, I can't make it that day. There is a virtual option that they can actually do it from their home. So we can actually get to all 50 states and more than 5 different countries. So the FTR experience, if you have not witnessed the Ferguson Twilight Run, it is unlike any other race. There are team discounts to ensure that we're bringing out the families and the teams and the fun. It is professionally timed. It is a closed course, which is good for the runners and walkers, but sometimes the residents aren't the most pleased by that. But I'll talk about that in a little bit. You will get a running shirt, finisher medals, awards for the top finishers in each of the age categories. Beer samples by Ferguson Brewery. Cheer stations along the route, understanding that to get up that hill, you need that cheer station to get us up that hill. Water stations, because some days are really, really hot, and so you need that good old water. We do have food that's for sale in the finish area, but we also promote our local restaurants and then healthy vendors. And of course, there's a free concert after the race to ensure that people enjoy the community after they participate as well. And even if you don't participate, you can come down for the free concert. Feedback, you can kind of see this, but it's basically first race they participated back in 2015, and 8 years later, it's still their favorite. It's the best run in St. Louis. They love the community support. And then it's one of their favorite local races to participate in. The cheering along the way is the best. Understand they like to do it with their friends as well. I would say that the race committee does its best to promote these aspects of the community support, but this is directly as a result of the community of Ferguson coming out and basically cheering people on, having a block party. All of that is all because of so this year, the Ferguson Twilight Run, it is the 15th year, and it will be on May 18th, 2024. Saturday, May 18th, 2024. So go ahead and check your calendars. Make sure that you are free to participate, to come on down. And again, if you cannot participate that day, then there's a virtual option. So you can participate anytime that week. Again, May 18th, 2024. So keep saying that and make sure everyone puts it out their calendars. 15th year goal of 1,500 participants. The beneficiaries of the Emerson Family YMCA, a red circle, Girls in the Run, and Strength and Honor, mentoring and tutoring. The band this year is Retro Boogie, and you can see the schedule. So we start at 4:30 with pre-race festivities, and we end at 9:30 with the band ending the 1 mile, the 10K, and the 5K. So it is an evening race to ensure that everyone is able to enjoy the Ferguson Farmers Market, go home, and then come back out for the race. And so this are the routes. And so we moved back to last year's route, but then this is back in 2019 of the routes. Participants, residents wanted to go back to this course. And so this map is on our website, but it's also on our social media page as well. We've done our best to ensure that street closures are at a minimum. We do get notifications out to ensure that people understand that during this time, the streets will be open to walkers and runners and closed to cars. It's not the most ideal understanding, but it is to ensure that it's a safe, fun event as well. And so if you have more information about that or have any questions about that, let me know. Request to the city, council and the mayor as well as personnel support, public works, parks and rec, police support, fire and ambulance support. Great partner in years past. We would like for that to continue. Understanding course maintenance, going out there, ensuring that there's no potholes, or if the potholes are filled, at least the day of, some street cleaning as well, just to ensure that it's a good appearance and also safe for the runners and the walkers. If you know of any contacts of sponsors, making sure you can let them know that this is an opportunity for them to support community and also to support health. And so you can reach out to them directly, or you can have me reach out to them. Mass mailer to understand that there's a text message system to be sure everyone knows this is coming up. It's an opportunity for them to participate, but then also understand about the street closures. Informational signs placement, we do put signs about the race in right-of-way areas just to ensure that the city knows that we're doing that until you get their approval to do that as well. Sharing of any social media posts, and then also, of course, register yourself, invite other cities, mayors, council members, and all of your contacts, family members, friends, coworkers, everyone that's in your, I was going to say Rolodex. Some of y'all might not know Rolodex. Your Google contacts, whatever you want to go, just go ahead and put them all in there to join you as you run with Ferguson. In exchange, we are wanting you to be the 10K presenting sponsor. Understanding the 10K is the longest route for the Ferguson Twilight Run, so participants will be able to see all of the beauty of Ferguson. And so with that, you get your logo on the 10K race bib and the medals, logo on all the flyers and media coverage out there, including all media and press releases, sponsor recognition at the award ceremony, also the opportunity for the mayor city manager and the chief of police to also come out and say a few words as well. You get 10 complimentary race entries. And then we also understand that there is going to be an expense associated with our request from last. We put some money in there to reimburse them for a portion of those fees as well. So that's our request and our hope that you will approve in this regard as well. We do have some current 2024 sponsors, Neighborhood Materials, BJC, Big River, North County Inc. I'm gonna miss a whole lot of people, but you can see them up there. They're also on our website, and we share that information out as well. A lot of past sponsors have come back, but there's always room for more sponsors. And so you can sponsor as an individual, you can sponsor as an organization, you can also talk to your business to do that. Everything from $250 all the way up to $3,000. The $250 actually helps with a team of youth. And so we're contacting local schools to see how we can ensure that they can participate in the race. And so there is that opportunity for you to give to the next generation as well. A huge thanks, I'm standing up here, but there's a big planning committee that meets monthly and then bi-monthly and then weekly and then almost every single day to ensure that we put on a great event. So a lot of the names locally that you might recognize, but then also individuals that have moved away but continue to participate as part of this planning committee as well. And then also thank you to all the volunteer sponsors and residents to continue to make this happen. Any questions? Again, May 18th. Yes.
Lipka.
Okay, a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Well, first is a suggestion. I think there should be an award for the last person because I would have won it last year. And I was just really proud of myself. It was the first time I'd ever walked a 5K. I had 3 pairs of tennis shoes to alleviate the foot pain, but I didn't quit. So there should be an award for the last person across the line. Also, on a more serious note, you said it's closed to cars, but we have had a lot of situations with motorized mini bikes running in and out between people, motorcycles zipping through, dirt bikes, 3-wheelers. So that I wanted to ask about. Then also, I did have a situation last year when I was at Darst, right by BTC, and a car decided they were going to come through no matter what. And when I stood in front of them and told them, no, they couldn't go this way, I got called every name in the book and they charged me with their bumper. And so I wouldn't move. So then I got called every name in the book again as they turn around. And had I not been there, they were going to drive through the people. So what do we do as a runner, as a participant, when there's no police around? What do we do there?
So we are doing our best to get not only Ferguson police officers, but we are also hiring a security company to offset some of that as well. And then we always get volunteers to do to help. And we actually have a bike patrol that tries to do that as well. All that to say is we still have some individuals that just choose to go around, go on people's, or push cars out of the way. As a resident at that point, all I can say is take the safety of yourself, making sure that you get out of the way to allow this individual in this car to do what they're going to do so you don't harm yourself.
Well, I've already established that I don't do things like
I
people
understand.
normally
I'm
do,
just saying it out there. We are not asking anyone to harm themselves.
No.
Yeah.
But I guess I think for me, when I saw them putting other people in harm, I was going to stand between that. So
Yeah, and so we're doing our best to get enough volunteers to ensure that that happens. Then there's radio calls so we can actually get a police officer there.
Okay.
But when I say vehicular traffic, that also includes our motorcycles bicycles as well.
would there be a possibility of providing an emergency phone number to every participant in case there's something like that, that they could call someone?
We can do that.
Okay,
Talk with police and our security to see what that number should be. Yep.
thank you.
Any other question for the Honorable Dwayne James?
I
That's it.
appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for your continued
you.
support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll see you on May 18th, if not sooner. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We move to our proclamation. This is Women History Month. Whereas March is the National Women's History Month, and the National Women History Alliance has designated the theme for Women History Month 2024 as Women Who Advocate for Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. And whereas this theme recognizes the invaluable contribution of women who have dedicated themselves to advocating for equity, diversity, and inclusion in all aspects of society. Whereas women from diverse backgrounds have long been at the forefront of efforts to address systematic inequalities and promote a more inclusive and just society. Whereas the courageous advocacy of women for practical goals such as equity, diversity, and inclusion serves as a beacon of inspiration for all individuals and communities. And whereas in 2024, we honor the women who have tirelessly worked to dismantle barriers, challenges, prejudices, and create opportunities for all individuals, regardless of their background, and attacks against diversity, equity, and inclusion programs and training in our institutions. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Ella Jones, Mayor of the City of Ferguson, along with the Ferguson City Council, do hereby proclaim March 24th as Women History Month in the city of Ferguson, Missouri. And be it further resolved that we encourage our communities and organizations to celebrate the achievements of women who have championed equity, diversity, and inclusion, and reaffirm our commitment to advancing these principles in our society. Let us honor the women who have dedicated themselves to advocating for equity, diversity, and inclusion. And let us continue to work together to build a more just, equitable, and inclusive world. Thank you. At this time, we would like to honor several women in the community for their work. Ms. Patricia, would you take pictures for us? First Lady, we honor. Linda, would you please?
Yes. So ladies and gentlemen, our first lady that we'd like to honor is Carolyn Randazzo. After retiring as a teacher in our Ferguson Florissant School District, Carolyn Randazzo began volunteering at Blessed Teresa of Calcutta Food Pantry on Elizabeth Avenue. She is a leader with Metropolitan Congregations United, MCU. She is a founding member of Grade A for Change and also the Ferguson Readings on Race Book Club. Carolyn is a proud mother of 2 children and grandmother of a beautiful grandson and a staple in our community. Thank you, Ms. Randazzo, for all your service.
Thank you very much for this honor. I really appreciate it. And I challenge everyone else to also be involved in these efforts. And everyone who's already involved, continue the work. Thank you.
Women History Month Distinction Award goes to Lisa Davis. Lisa, would you come?
Science degree, nursing from the University of Southern California. Serve our community, engage, providing scholarships, especially to past nursing clinical instructor for the St. Louis Community College at Forest Park. She established and opened her own home care business, Always Love Care, Inc., along with West Florissant Corridor in 2006, so it's been 13 years. Currently holds the position as president and director, containing over 17 years in operation. I've appointed and mentorship to many young and mature adults their career, providing career care to the elderly and disabled. She's mentored many young entrepreneurs in starting their own home care businesses. Lisa and her husband Josh formed the first Ferguson West Florissant Business Association. It was formed for the purpose of creating a shared vision that advances the concept of livable communities across the municipality boundaries of the St. Louis region. Their focus: housing, health, education, economic development, and public governance. Thank you, Ms. Lisa Davis.
Representative Joanne. Tony Pearl and a husband of 50 years. Reside here in Ferguson. And Tony has a list of achievements and things that she has done for our city. But I just want to share this. While Reverend Pearl wears many hats, she extremely dedicated to her service as president and CEO of ACT Community Resource Center, a 60-year-old nonprofit social service organization. PAC is a nonprofit human social service corporation that is supported by congregations of various denominations in the North St. Louis County area. We salute you for the work you do in the community. It's hard to do this by yourself. Since in front of you. I salute you, my brother. Where did we start this? You remember that day? So we do a lot of things with all the people here in person. And I do. We're just found out that just actually we're going to be starting off with the Atlas of God. Awards on next week. But that's not about the awards. It's about having our children in the school, understanding about business and I'm going to be calling on some of you. I'm realizing that. It's gonna be free like always. Nobody has to pay. It's on. Now that it's all out. So I'm gonna be calling on the council. I thank you so very much. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Keep on doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job. Okay. Council, would you like to take pictures? You don't you have a take? Let's put you all in the center.
Yep, I'm gonna take a picture. Sorry for your range first.
Council members, would you like to take pictures with the honoree? All you all, AKA. I'll be right back. Yes, she told me. Okay, thank you. Okay. Special presentation has ended. We will move to our consent agenda. Our consent agenda is city council meeting minutes, the regular meeting 3/12/24. I'm requesting a motion and a second for approval of the minutes.
So moved. Heather Robinette.
All in favor?
Aye.
The minutes are approved. We have one appointment for tonight, and that's for North County Festival Square, a Community Development Corporation, where we have Rachel St. Pierre. We need to appoint her in the unexpired term that was held by Elliot Lieberson. I'm appointing her to that position. It must be approved by the council. Is there a motion and a second?
So moved. Heather Robinette.
Second, Laquita Noah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, so ordered. Rachel is appointed to the Community Improvement District. We move to our resolutions. Without objection, we're introduced by council members present. We have resolution number 24-09. Attorney Carey, could you please read the resolution?
Yes, ma'am. Resolution number 2024-09, a resolution appropriating revenue and amending the 23-24 Parks Fund budget.
City manager?
At this time, I'll pull on Dave Musgrave.
Okay.
Good evening, council. Good evening, mayor. This resolution is to amend the parks budget, primarily the line from replacing zero-turn mowers. This was discussed during the CIP session a few weeks back. We're purchasing 3 additional mowers, and we had planned this year to just replace old equipment at this point. And this will account for those dollars. If you recall, we did sell some of our old equipment, but this accounts for the total purchase price and doesn't account for the revenue that was taken in on that line. So the cost is lower than what's here based on that revenue we incurred. So.
Thank you. Any questions? Hear none? I'm requesting a motion and a second for approval.
So moved. Linda Lipka.
Assistant City Manager Dave Musgrave, could you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Noah,
Aye.
Councilman Palmer,
Aye.
Councilman Ashby,
Aye.
Councilwoman Robinette,
Aye.
Mayor Jones,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lipka,
Aye.
Councilman Nelson.
Resolution number 2024-9 passes. We move to resolution number 24-10. Attorney Carey, could you please read the resolution?
Yes, ma'am. Resolution number 2024-10, a resolution appropriating revenue and amending the 23-24 CIP general fund budgets.
City Manager?
Mayor and council, at this time, I'm going to refer to Dave Musgrave, the assistant city manager. He worked on this with the finance
Good evening, council. Good evening, mayor. This is also something we discussed in the CIP work session a couple weeks back. A lot of these are updating lines within the Capitol for the police department, along with the lawn care for the code enforcement, and then also the plotter that was going in the code enforcement. If there's any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them.
Any questions from council? Hear none. A motion and a second for approval.
So moved, Blake Ashby.
Second, Linda Lipka.
Dave, could you please call the roll?
Yes, Mayor. Councilman Palmer,
Aye.
Councilman Ashby,
Aye.
Councilwoman Robinette,
Aye.
Mayor Jones,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lipka,
Aye.
Councilwoman Nelson, Manoa.
Aye.
Resolution number 2024 passes. We move to resolution number 2024-11. Attorney Carey, could you please read the resolution?
Yes, ma'am. Resolution number 2024-11. A resolution appropriating revenue and amending the 23-24 general fund budgets.
City Manager Hampton.
Mayor and council, I can answer this one. This is for the fire department. Throughout the year, we've gathered some grants and we put them in general fund. We have purchased a safe house that's inflatable through someone's donation. Also, a few other things from Missouri American Water Rescue tax stuff. And then I believe there's a banquet coming up and it was donated $500. So with that, it's a total of $1,000 that were moved from general fund to an account.
Okay. Are there any questions?
Just one.
Yes, Councilwoman Lipka.
Could you tell us a little more about the safe house? That sounds interesting.
It's like more when we get it.
Okay.
It's a big blow up. It's gonna take, it's like 600-800 pounds to move around. So
What do you use it? I mean, do you put it on site for like a,
the fire safety.
okay.
I'm requesting a motion and a second for approval.
So move, Naquita Noah.
Dave, could you please call the roll?
Yes, Mayor. Councilman Ashby,
Aye.
Councilwoman Robinette,
Aye.
Mayor Jones,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lipka,
Aye.
Councilwoman Nelson, Councilwoman Noah,
Aye.
and Councilman Palmer.
Aye.
Resolution number 2024-11 passes. We move to resolution number 2024-12. Attorney Carey, could you please read the resolution?
Yes, ma'am. Resolution number 2024-12. A resolution of the city of Ferguson, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to execute the municipal housing and community development supplemental cooperation agreement of fiscal year 23.
City Manager Hampton.
Mayor and council, this is kind of a formality at this point. And it's just basically an agreement between us and the CBDG.
Any questions? Hear none, I'm requesting a motion in a second.
So move, Linda Lipka.
Dave, could you please call the roll?
Yes, Mayor. Councilwoman Robinette,
Aye.
Mayor Jones,
Aye.
Aye.
Councilwoman Nelson, Councilwoman Noah,
Aye.
Councilman Palmer,
Aye.
and Councilman Ashby.
Aye.
Resolution number 2024-12 passes. We don't have any bills requiring the first reading. We don't have any bills requiring second reading. We move to unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished business? Yes, Councilwoman Lipka.
So I don't know if this is the right place to ask about this or not, but Mr. Musgrave, can you kind of give us an update on what you and I have been working on for Jesky Park? Did we find those trees or source out the trees yet?
Yeah, so they have the trees and the bench is secured. We're working on the plaque at this point, but we have everything done. We're just trying to gather dates, times, that kind of stuff at this point.
Is it okay to go ahead and tell the audience what we're referring to? So the citizens of Ferguson came to myself and Mr. Musgrave asking what they could do to help in remembrance of Birdie and her children that were tragically killed in the house fire. So the request was, could trees be planted in their honor and a bench be dedicated to their memory in Jesky Park? We worked with the citizens to create an opportunity for them to donate the funds that they so desperately wanted to donate. We were able to secure part of the Parks and Rec sign-in process, the online process for them to be able to make those donations. And then those donations were used to acquire the trees. And Mr. Musgrave and I and some other citizens have been trying to get these trees and get trees that don't grow too tall, that don't grow too wide, that stay alive during all seasons. You'd be surprised, it's a lot harder than you think it is. But we did secure the trees, as he said. We've also, he was working on a bench, I was working on a bench. I think he got his first. But we will have a bunch that will be dedicated to the memory of the children. So just wanted to let all of you know that there have been people on Facebook saying, where are we on this process? So that's why I wanted to bring it up tonight. So it's officially out there that this is being completed.
And just to be forthright with it, the trees, we typically don't plant this time of year just because it's seasonal. So it'll be closer to the spring. And the bench will have lead time just for getting it in, installed, all that stuff. So realistically, we're still looking at a few months out, but just to be transparent with that.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other unfinished business?
I should just go ahead and announce
We-
one more thing.
Yes, Councilwoman Lipka.
So I might as well go ahead and let you guys know one more thing too, that I've been working on with the city. I feel like it's really, really important for us to take this opportunity in this time frame to work on mental health awareness in Ferguson. And there's not a whole lot of that. So one of the things, again, citizens came to me and suggested, and we decided was a good idea, is to create a series of yard signs that will have positive affirmational type of sayings on them, but then we'll also have resources on there. So if you're in need of help, call 988, that kind of thing. We're also looking in the future to go as far as to maybe include the Children's Crisis Nursery on some of these, and Kids in the Middle's phone number on some of these, and things like that. We're taking a lot of our suggestions from some of the successful programs that Bodie Miller is doing in Colorado with mental health, and as well as the Veterans Association. They have a lot of strong mental health programs. So we are working with Fast Signs, correct, right now, and we're working with them to possibly donate these signs. My goal is to not only create a partnership with them locally for our community, but I would like to see this program go statewide and then nationwide. And I would like it to be accredited to Ferguson, Missouri. So we are also working on a presentation that we will be taking out to the corporate world to see if we can get a sponsorship and a sign-on. I feel very strongly about this program. I really feel strongly that we started here in Ferguson, and that if we can prove to the state and the country that it's making a difference and makes people feel better and think twice, then this is something that we can say Ferguson, Missouri helped to contribute a solution to nationally. So that's something I'm working on with the city, and wanted you guys to know. So please keep your eyes open for really awesome signs that you can put in your yards.
Thank you. A positive word is always good. Any other unfinished business? We move to new business. Do we have any new business? We don't have any new business. We move to miscellaneous. Councilwoman Noah.
Thank you, Mayor. I would just like to remind everyone about the meeting tomorrow at the Ferguson Empowerment Center, the Nesbitt Newton Neighborhood Meeting. It's from 6 until 7, and Councilwoman Rita Days will be in attendance. And so everyone who lives in Nesbitt Newton, please join us. Thursday, we will not have a Ward 3 South Central meeting due to the council forum. Thank you, everyone. Be safe.
Thank you. Councilman Palmer.
I have nothing tonight. Thank you.
Councilman Ashby.
I just wanted to let everybody know that Adrian Shropshire, I think everybody knows, had a health situation. He is slowly getting better, and actually they have now moved him to a rehab hospital. So he's starting to get back a little bit, and not all the way there, but it looks like he's turned the corner. So everybody keep him in your prayers.
Thank you, Councilman Ashby. Councilwoman Robinette.
Thank you, Mayor. I would just like to wish everybody a happy spring and a happy Easter.
Thank
That's
you.
it.
Councilwoman Lipka.
Yes, ma'am. You say that with such enthusiasm. You're afraid I'm going to have a lot to say, right?
No.
I just want to remind everybody, the candidate forum on Thursday, you Zoom in and you can go through, I think it's the Ferguson Library's Zoom connection, as it has been in the past. It's well worth listening. We've got new candidates, people new to this process that are running for office. So it's really interesting to listen to what they have to say, as well as people who are currently sitting here and what their experience is that they're going to share from. So please make sure you tune into that and give yourself an open mind and an open heart to it. Also wanted to say I wish you all a happy Easter this Sunday. And then also remember to get out and vote on April 2nd. Respect everybody's choice, but your choice doesn't matter if you don't put it on the paper and turn it in as a vote. So please go vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Lipka. Councilwoman Nelson.
Want to still keep everybody in mind, to keep in mind about the boards and commissions. We still have spaces available on several of the boards. Consider being on some of the boards and commissions. I also want to wish everybody a happy resurrection.
Attorney Carey. Assistant City Manager Dave Musgrave.
I just want to thank everybody for being patient while I was sitting in the seat tonight. Wasn't perfect.
City Manager.
Mayor and council. First off, I want to make sure everybody knows that we condone the actions of any racism through the city of Ferguson, especially during our Zooms. We are looking at tightening up our security and then going forward from here. Secondly, the fire department, we have a smoke detector drive. It's in April, I believe the 13th and 20th. There's designated areas, but there's a phone number on the bottom of our flyer that's out on social media that if you're not in that location, call anyway and we'll get to you. That's all I have. So we do have a new HR lady. She was not able to stay. She had one of her children. So it's still school time right now. So next council meeting, we will introduce.
Okay, yes, Councilwoman Lipka.
I apologize for cutting in before your time, but I do want to tag on to what Chief Hampton said. Another thing that we would like to start working on as a group of community as well as citizens is we want to create some ideas for fundraisers to raise money for the Safe Baby program. It is something that is near and dear to Chief Hampton's heart, as well as a lot of us here in this community. If you aren't aware of what it is, I'm going to give you a little bit of background. Chief Hampton can expound, but it's basically a safe place. If a mother can't keep that child, if she's just can't do it, she can drop this baby off at a fire department. It will go in a Safe Baby box. The box is very expensive. It's about $10,000 because it has to be air conditioned in the summer and it has to be warmed in the winter. So it is something that we would like to have any input and suggestions. If you have suggestions for good fundraisers for something like this or a drive or an event, please email me at llipka@fergusoncity.com. We do want to start working on this though, because it is important and it's something that I think, is it Richmond Heights that's already got, who's got it already?
Melville Fire Department.
Melville Fire Department has it, and they've already had how many, 2 children, 3 children?
I believe so.
2 children have been dropped off and they haven't even had it a year yet. So, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so I mean, the fire department in the past, I think many children. And so with this box, you know, it's just not $10,000 box. Like Ms. Councilwoman Linda said, it has to be heat, it has to be air conditioned. So that would be a big help in a lot of our situations because we are not there. And then also, if we are not there, multiple people get notified that the door's open and someone's in there.
So we need a fundraiser for $20,000, not 10,000. And so if you know of any corporate sponsors or, you know, a Twilight Run that wants to donate to it, I don't know, you know, just anything, you know, would help.
Last thing, Mayor. On Florissant Road, mine's been cut on our Victorian lights. We are in the process of getting our lights turned back on.
Leave our city alone. If you don't want to live here, move.
No, it was by a utility company.
Utility company, leave our city alone.
They're responsible for fixing it, and it should be fixed within this week.
Okay. Assistant City Manager, did I call you? Everyone, okay. Please do not forget on April the 2nd from 9 a.m. to noon at the Ferguson Community Center, the seniors is having their annual Senior Citizen Day. You don't want to miss that. Enjoy your Easter, because I'm going to enjoy mine. At this point, I'm requesting a motion in a second to
So-
adjourn.
So move Naquita Noah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. We are adjourned. Thank you.